her protection.
In every major town and city, there is a house of which no official record exists, and whose windows have been boarded up for longer than anyone around can remember. The previous occupants, if there ever were any, are untraceable, and no organization or individual will ever lay claim to the plot on which it stands. Nevertheless, when you break in, always through a back ground floor window, you must never touch the outer doors. You will see amongst the dust the signs of inhabitants long gone: a flattened cardboard box, an overturned child's cot, balding patches on the carpet where the pile has been worn away. Invariably there will be an orphaned double mattress in the master bedroom. What you will not see, however, are rats and cockroaches, or animal waste. Vermin know better than to come here. These are her sacred spaces. The first time you visit, bring only what you need to help you enter the house. Then locate the master bedroom, stand in the center, and draw an unbroken circle in the dust around your feet. Make it about 1 meter in diameter to be safe. Face the doorway and say aloud, "I wish to make a sacrifice. Will you welcome the offering?" Then leave as quickly as possible. You must not return until night has next fallen. This time, bring nails, a hammer, an empty liter bottle, a sharp, sturdy knife, and a torch. Enter the same way you did last time. Remember the mattress in the master bedroom? Someone will be sleeping there. Don't worry about waking them up. She has taken care of that for you. Turn the sleeper over onto their back and cut their jugular vein, making sure to collect as much blood as you can. You will need to pour a little of the blood onto the floor of every room, including this one, but make sure you have some left at the end. When you have finished, leave by the same way you entered and close up the boards again. This is what the hammer and nails are for. Walk home. Speak to nobody on your way. When you get there, tip some of the remaining blood into your right hand and smear it over your door handle before you enter. Then go to bed. If there is any blood left, you must pour the rest of it onto any pavement in the city, but do not allow it to be poured down a drain. The knife you must never use again, and should bury. Do not trouble yourself with covering your tracks. When you next leave your house, the blood on your door will be gone, and the murder you have committed will have no repercussions. From the moment you leave her temple, DNA evidence will never again implicate you. Law enforcement will creep around your footsteps without touching them. On cameras, your face will show up a blur. You are under her protection now. Just make sure you get the right house.
Lightless City.
Do you have someone you hate? Someone you would do anything to hurt? Pay any price for vengeance? If so, you may want to consider visiting Lightless City. To get there, go to any decent-sized city and find a deserted alleyway at night. Go into it and close your eyes as tightly as you can. Whisper, "Lightless City," and concentrate on the darkness. You've probably noticed that there are faint colours and abstract shapes you can make out if you try to focus your eyes when they're closed. Watch those images go by. After a few minutes, the images should start to get clearer and brighter. When this happens, they'll start taking on detailed forms, images of violent murders, deformed animals, and similar things. No matter what you see, keep your eyes closed. You'll start to lose track of time, but eventually the images will stop, and you'll see pure darkness, nothing but deep black, no colours or shapes. When you're certain that you see pure darkness, open your eyes. You will now be in a very dark city. There won't be a single light or star in the sky. You should be able to see a faint dark blue outline of the tall buildings surrounding you. Make your way out of the alley and walk as quietly as you can down the sidewalk in any direction. If you hear any movement, run as quickly as you can away from the noise. There are animals in Lightless City. It's too dark to make out the details, but they're the size of large, wild felines and will kill any human they catch. Keep moving until you reach an area with smaller buildings, the edge of the city. A child will approach you, his face dully glowing, letting you see that he is eyeless. He will ask, "Will you share your light with me?" Say yes. The child will reach for your face and rip out your right eye. It will be painful, but there shouldn't be any bleeding or open wound. The child will thank you and leave. Keep walking, and a tall man will appear before you. "Whose light do you wish to have taken away?" Speak the name of the person you hate, and as soon as you say their name, they will go completely and irreversibly blind. "Is your hatred satisfied?" the man will ask. If it is, say yes, and you will awaken in the alley. If not, say no, and the man will disappear. Keep walking. You will come across another eyeless child. "Will you share your light with me?" Say yes, and your left eye will be torn out, leaving you blind. Keep walking, and the tall man will appear again, although you, of course, will have to rely on his voice. "Whose life do you wish for the darkness to claim?" Say the name of the one you hate, and they will die. You will not be asked if your hatred is satisfied this time, and you will not be able to return to the alley. I told you to make sure you really hated someone before doing this. You will spend the rest of your life wandering around Lightless City, blind, with only your hatred to keep you warm. For some people, that's enough.
If you lost a loved one.
There is a way that you can bring back a loved one after death. I wouldn't recommend it, though. Death is final, and cheating it always leads to bad results. But you'll want to know anyway. Well, here you go. Go to the cemetery that your loved one is buried in. This only works for those who have been buried, though there's probably another method for cremation or something, but I don't know it. Make sure that you take the one material object that is most important to you with you. The emotion from this object, this sacrifice, will provide your power. Take it to the plot of your loved one and bury it over their grave. You don't have to go very far down, so don't worry about running into the slab or anything. Before you cover up the hole with your object, don't forget to add a few drops of your blood to it. This imbues the ritual with your own life essence and draws them in. Then comes the final steps. Take a small handful of dirt from where you buried your object and swallow it. Disgusting, but necessary. This creates the link between you and where you need to go. After that, get yourself as comfy as you can and fall asleep on the grave. If everything was done correctly, and you get a bit lucky, you'll awaken to find yourself standing at the gate of the graveyard. It will be dim, foggy, and you'll notice a lack of colour in this drab place. You'll also see that there seem to be people wandering around the gravestones. Exactly how many and what they'll look like will depend on the cemetery you went to, but I've never heard of a location not having at least a few dozen of them wandering around. Whatever you do, stay away from them. These are the shades of those left behind from failed rituals or weak spirits drawn from the surrounding areas to the power of your blood and object. Even if you recognize some of them, do not go near them. They are little more than instinct now and desire one thing above all else: life. They want another chance to live and crave nothing more, even if the shade's mind is so far gone it doesn't even recall why. And if one catches you, it will try to steal that life away from you. They may notice you, they may not. If they do, evade them. It shouldn't be too hard, as their reflexes and control are not nearly as sharp as they used to be. Avoid them and look for your loved one. The person may be at their grave or wandering the walkway. You may even find them hiding, terrified of the scene before them. When you finally see your loved one, stop. Don't go near them yet. Call out the person's name and wait. If the response seems genuine, everything is going as planned. If the response is delayed, quiet, distant, or not even present, then hold on. Ask from a distance, what was the one thing the person hated in life? As these shades progress and their minds dwindle to nothing, some of the first things to go are the memories of the things they hated in life. Any bad memory that makes life seem terrible would slip away, to be replaced by that deep desire to return to the living. If your loved one's answer seems legitimate, take their hand and pray that you weren't wrong. If you are, you may find yourself as a replacement shade wandering this foggy graveyard. Be aware their hand will be cold, freezing, like grasping solid ice, but never let go. Even if your hand starts going numb and your fingers turn black, do not let go. After feeling that rush of life touching their hand and immediately losing it, moments later, your loved one may not be able to resist the urge to take it all from you. Take your loved one back to the gate, avoiding other shades as you can. More may notice you now as your living body is connected to their realm via your lost loved one. Be quick, be decisive, and do not let go of your loved one's hand. Should you make it and step through the gate of the cemetery, you'll find yourself back in the living world. However, this time your loved one will have rejoined you at your side, still clutching your hand. To the rest of the world, it will seem like your loved one went on a long trip somewhere and recently came back. Nobody will be able to recall where it was they went or what they did there. Well, nobody except you and your loved one, but they will be happy to see the person's return. After this, I suggest that you never stay in one place too long. Keep moving, keep roaming. The more random your journeys, the better. The moment you start to see the sickly, pale look come across your loved one's face, or the bit of decay that might start forming on your skin, move. Death hates to be cheated, and if he catches up with you and your loved one, he'll make sure that you both feel every bit of the rotting sickness that will build up in your bodies, until your loved one once again falls to the grasp of death and returns to the cemetery. This time, however, they won't be alone. You will be joining them. Maybe you'll get lucky, though. Maybe someone might make this journey for you. They'll take your hand and drag you back to the world of the living, only for it all to start over once again.